The creation of Israel was a misstep by colonial powers. I think it was the wrong solution. I think it has created far more problems than it has solved. It created an unsolvable paradox in the heart of the Middle East. I think it was the wrong thing to do, and I think the solution must be from the same place that the problem came. It was a problem and a mistake created by colonial powers, and those same colonial powers have a responsibility to clean it up now.
So it seems like the dam is breaking. People are coming out one after another, saying it loud and clear that no, Israel should not exist. Dan Bilzerian said it yesterday. Now Milo, who is gradually coming back into the limelight. I'm sure many of you are familiar with Milo, who was a conservative star in the past. Then he went into obscurity after making unsavory comments about pedophilia inside the Catholic Church and things that happened to him personally that turned him gay, something that he always said that he wasn't proud of and doesn't want his son, if he ever had one, to engage in. Then after a while, he came back and declared that he wasn't homosexual anymore, that he was cured of that, or at least that he was a non-practicing homosexual. So he had an interesting run. He also worked for Kanye, by the way, as chief of staff. So unlike what his weird hair would have you believe, he's actually well regarded and respected in conservative circles. And yesterday, he appeared on Tim Pool's podcast and said the following shocking yet absolutely true statement.
Believe that Islamic Jihad army...
Early in the morning for this kind of talk, Tommy.
Do you believe they stop at Israel? Does anyone actually believe that?
I don't think so. Of course
I think that Israel was the creation of Israel was a misstep by colonial powers. I think it was the wrong solution. I think it has created far more problems than it has solved. It created an unsolvable paradox in the heart of the Middle East. I think it was the wrong thing to do, and I think the solution must be from the same place that the problem came. It was a problem and a mistake created by colonial powers, and those same colonial powers have a responsibility to clean it up now. And that means probably that the British government, maybe the American government, maybe some of the other European governments.
That's what I don't understand about these anti-Zionists and whatever, but like the Jewish hater people out there. If you don't like Jewish people, right?
We're not talking about Jewish people.
I'm just saying the people that are in the chat, the people that have been going on online about this, like calling everybody Zionists and everybody Jews lately, right?
Well, no
if you don't like this, it's just a question. I didn't say that. I'm just talking in general. If people don't like Jewish people, why don't they want them to have a homeland to go to? Why don't they want Jews to live with Jews?
Actually, that was a huge part of why Israel was created. A lot of Europeans, they wanted Jews to live among them, so they wanted to get rid of them by placing them in the Middle East, far away from them in Palestine. Remember that it wasn't the Muslims or the Arabs who committed atrocities against Jews, but rather the Europeans. Jews lived in the Middle East for the longest time. Nobody kicked them out of there as long as they behaved, but they were kicked out of Europe. Isn't this interesting? So she's saying this in this facetious way, but it is actually true, embarrassingly enough.
My
point was that this created something that cannot be solved. We should have just given them Vermont. All right, we should have just given them Vermont because the state of Israel has become...
But the point of that is...
Let's be clear.
They don't. That's not the point. They don't care about where it is. They want them going completely.
Well, they should have. It should have been in Vermont. It shouldn't have been in Holy Land.
But they would still want that.
But it's Christian land anyway.
So
let's be honest. It's Christian land anyway, and it should have been taken for Christianity, if anything. All right, and it's Christian land that is the Holy Land. That is Christian land. And if anybody deserves it, if anybody should own it, it is Orthodox Christianity probably. And listen, the state of Israel is one of the greatest threats to Jewish lives in the world today.
And the Western powers,
because of what it creates, because of what it does, and the Western powers that are beholden by its money.
But they want the instability.
But yes,
the instability is
Yes,
intentional.
but you're just making my point for me.
I'm agreeing with you.
Oh well, thanks. It shouldn't be there. It shouldn't be there.
Well, I'm not saying that.
I'm saying
we should have given the Jews Vermont.
Great idea. Did you know that Vermont is 15% larger than Israel in terms of size, according to compare.org?
Right. So the issue is...
They would have been perfectly happy. We should have just given them Vermont. And instead, what we've created is an intractable solution with no...
on purpose.
With no solution.
On purpose.
Yeah, sure, of course.
They want the instability so that they can justify every move they make in the Middle East.
The Israeli government was complicit in the murder of thousands of Jews on October 7th and in the time afterwards, and then when it committed genocide next door.
Yes.
This is a rogue, failed state. This is a rogue, failed state. That should be abolished. We should give them, and it's not too late. It's not too late to give them Vermont.
Can I ask one
Everybody in Vermont would say yes anyway.
All right, well, let's
find me someone in Vermont who would say no.
Let me ask another question.
Let's have Tommy jump in. All right.
If there was no state of Israel, do you not think followers of Islam would hate the Jews?
Nope, let me chime in on this one, Milo. Jews lived among Muslims in Palestine for centuries. It was never a problem. We just started hating them once they started bombing our children. That's it.
Yes, but
because 7%,
they wouldn't be next door. They wouldn't be over the road. They wouldn't be able to shoot them from across the hill.
No,
I'm sorry, but Milo is wrong on this one. Jews did live among Muslims and they didn't shoot them in the street. And up till this moment, even after the genocide, there isn't one Muslim in the entire world who wants to shoot a random Jew for the reason of being a Jew.
No, they'd just be taking more Hagia Sophias and taking our
and the IDF wouldn't be able to sniper children in school playgrounds either. So
let Tommy respond.
No, of course they would still hate Jews, but they wouldn't have been forced to live next to them.
All right.
Obviously, a W take from Milo here, but there is one thing we need to focus on from this interview, which is we should normalize using the word genocide to describe what Israel is doing. They try to deny it. They say that it's a war. They say that if Israel wanted to commit a genocide, they would have. Well, they did. A genocide doesn't need to be the death of 1 million people. 50,000 people is a genocide. The word genocide and Israel should be inextricably linked. So use the word everywhere, insist on using it. 10 years from now, we shouldn't allow Wikipedia to describe what happened in Gaza as a war. Wars happen between two armies, not an army on one side and 15,000 dead kids on the other side. Probably even more than that. Leave your opinion in the comments. Thank you.